Alright, let's talk about the most fascinating comeback story in baseball right now, Nolan Perry's lightning-fast return to the mound after taking a line drive to the head. Wait, before you roll your eyes thinking it's just another minor league highlight reel, hear me out. This isn't just about resilience. It's about how a pitcher no one outside of Florida's rookie league knew about a year ago is now Toronto's top pitching prospect, and why his rapid rise might signal something bigger about how teams handle injuries, development, and the psychology of fear. Here's the quick recap. Perry got drilled in the head on July 19, sidelined for 18 days, and came back throwing even better than before. Struck out the first two batters with vicious breaking balls, threw 3 no-hit innings, and looked like he hadn't missed a beat. But here's what most people aren't talking about, the sheer audacity of Toronto's approach here. Concussions aren't just a get-well-soon injury. They're unpredictable. Yet here's Perry, back in just over 2 weeks, dominating AA hitters like it's nothing. Is this genius, recklessness, or both? Personally, I think it's a calculated risk that exposes a growing trend in baseball, teams prioritizing data-driven recovery timelines over traditional caution. Toronto clearly has protocols in place that let them trust Perry's readiness, but what does that mean for player safety long-term? Now, let's zoom out. Perry wasn't even on the Blue Jays' preseason top 30 prospects list. He was a 12th-round pick out of a New Mexico high school in 2022. That's not just an underdog story, it's a scouting and development win. Toronto's system gets criticized for being thin, but Perry's trajectory from a $200,000 slot signing to top 100 prospect in under 2 years. That's the kind of success that changes an organization's reputation. And here's the kicker. He's doing it with a pitch mix that's borderline unfair. 4 strikeouts in his comeback game, all on breaking balls. One of them even bounced off the catcher's gear because it was so sharp. That's not just talent. That's a guy who's figured something out mentally after the trauma of getting hit. How does that happen? Most pitchers would carry fear after that. Perry's using it as fuel. But wait, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Perry's workload has been capped. He's still on a pitch count. That tells me Toronto is hedging their bets. They're not letting him go full Cy Young just yet. But here's the paradox, by limiting him, they're actually proving his value. He's 4th in the system in strikeouts despite fewer innings. That's efficiency bordering on dominance. And if you've been watching the Blue Jays farm system, this isn't an isolated case. Ricky Tiedemann's back throwing 97 miles per hour in AAA after elbow issues. New trade additions like Dasan Hill are slotting into rotations immediately. There's a pattern here. Toronto's pitching depth isn't just rebuilding, it's evolving into something scary for the rest of MLB. So what's the bigger picture? Nolan Perry's comeback isn't just inspiring, it's a case study. It shows how modern player development isn't just about mechanics or velocity, but about mental resilience, data-driven medical care, and the willingness to bet on late-round picks. And here's the question I can't stop thinking about. If Perry keeps this up, how long until he's not just a prospect but a name we're penciling into the 2027 opening day roster? Because let me tell you, if I'm a Blue Jays fan, I'm looking at this kid and seeing more than a feel-good story. I'm seeing the potential cornerstone of a playoff rotation. What do you think? Is Toronto sitting on a future ace here, or is it way too early to crown Perry? Let me know in the comments, because trust me, this isn't a comeback story you want to sleep on.